All right. Okay. So this is going to be about motivation. I don't know what your motivation is. A lot of people have motivation when it comes to writing. They want to write, they just want to write a story. They just want to write a book. They want to say, I've written a book. Here's my book, buy my book, whatever. I'm happy I wrote a book. Not everybody can write a book, or everybody would be writing a book. I'm not even going to get into the weeds on how many people, oh, I'm going to write a book when I retire. Blah, blah. No, you're not. Then there's people like myself. 15 years I've been doing this full time, able to write stories. 400,000 words a year. That's, I don't even have how many words. I can't even count. I can't even count how many words it is. Millions of words I've written in my career. Okay. Several of them, half a dozen of those words, pretty good words too. Otherwise, I'm still selling stories. I'm still able to do this for a living. That being said, how do I get up every morning? How do I find those words? You know, um, I'm gonna give an analogy that people are not gonna like. Certain people are not gonna like. Certain people are gonna be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. You're an old man. I don't know what you're talking about. And this is again, all of these are Armand's opinion. That's why the name of this channel is Armand's opinion. This is my opinion. Metallica, phenomenal band. Grew up on them, teenage years. Loved the first several albums. Great songs, great riffs, great lyrics, all of it perfect. Greatest band in the world. Till the Black Album. In the Black Album, they changed their sound. Lyrically, I think they dumbed it down. And I mean, you can argue with me all you want. This is, again, Armand's opinion. That's my opinion. I know there's a lot of people, especially younger people, they're like, oh no, Metallica was great from. Shut up. I'm going to tell you, from that point on, they've had a couple of good songs on each album. I'm not gonna be one of these, oh, they haven't written anything great since, but they haven't written a lot of great since. That's the problem. They ran out of ideas. They ran out of that fire. The Eye of the Tiger. That's not a Metallica song, by the way. And I just, as I got older, I liked them less and less. Now, again, those first few albums are just, I mean, phenomenal. So that's what you worry about as a writer. I worry about, I'm going to wake up and I'll go, I have no more ideas. I've written every single idea I have ever thought of. I've written it, and that's it. I'm done. I got nothing left in the can. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a good idea floating around in this thick head of mine, and I'm done. I'm never gonna. I've hit a peak without realizing it, and I'm never gonna write it. So that's a scary thought. Then that's not motivation. That doesn't motivate you. That kind of freaks you out. But then I'm like, well, I have another idea. Oh, I have at least one more idea I want to write down. Okay, let's do this. Let's sit down today. My motivation is I have things that I want to say. And not like, oh, I want to be I'm going to write stories that are political and make you think blah, blah, blah. No, I have things I want to say. I have pulp fiction, simple stories I want to tell. The stories that the stories I have not read yet, I need to write to get them out there. Stories that I have read in my life, and I'm like, you know what? I would love to write something similar to that. I love the theme. I love the character. I love something about this, and it's triggered an idea in my head. And so, you know what? Let's write this. Let's get this down. On paper, let's write this thing down. So that's a good motivation for me. I'm going to be honest with you, the biggest motivation for me to sit down every day and write something. So again, if you've seen my 400,000 words in a year video, you know that 1,096 words a day will get me to that 400,000. Okay, I've just literally spoiled that video for you. You still need to watch it though. And so, what's my motivation for writing those 1,096 or more words every day? And the biggest one, then the for me the most obvious one, and the most telling is I don't want to go back to retail management. I did it for 20 something years. Um, I was good at it, but I hated every second of it. I didn't like customers. I didn't like employees. I didn't like upper management. I didn't like the vendors coming in. I didn't like any part of that. I didn't like the paperwork. Just to have to do all this, micromanage everybody in the store and do schedules and come up with numbers and blah 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 and all the corporate garbage, all that. I didn't like any of it. I mean, not a second. I would go in the morning and I would make a pot of coffee, and I would literally remember saying, this right here, this coffee brewing is the highlight of my day. This is the best thing that's going to happen to me in the next 10 to 12 to 900 straight hours. I am trapped in this retail store. Honest to God. And that is no way to live. Especially when you have the dream is, since I was 12 years old, was to be a writer. That's what I was going to do for a living. So that really motivates me. Okay. I worked at a big anchor department store for several years when I came down to Florida in 2001. And we would have to be at work at like 4 a.m. on the day after, like on Black Friday. 4 a.m. Because at 5 a.m., the doors would open and all these lunatics would come in for their free snow globe. And then to just basically buy things that was normally going to be on sale anyway. And it was insane. Insane when I worked for smaller stores. Oh, they want to come in because we have every store's going to have a camera and some technology and four things of technology, and they're going to be like $25 each. And they don't tell you that, okay, so each store is going to get like 2. And we're opening up at 5 a.m. on Black Friday, and the first customer walking in is going to try to buy all of them. No, sorry, you can one. It says it in the one of each. Well, how many different things are 4? Give me all 4. Okay. Next person come in the line. I'll buy all 4. Okay. We're sold out. And then the rest of the day, the rest of my shift was arguing with people. Absolutely did not like it. And unfortunately, that's literally all I can do. I have no other skills. I have absolutely no other skills. Retail, that's it. And for all you kids out there watching this video, do anything in your life but retail. Because once you get trapped in that cycle 20-something years, and here's an extra $2 an hour for you to be a manager. Ugh. If I told you what my salary was, 80 to 100 hours a week, 6 days a week working those jobs, you would think I am insane. And I think I was. I had young kids. I was, I went through 2 really bad marriages and a long-term relationship that was garbage, all doing retail, and them telling me, put your tie on, get in there, keep making us money. It was soul-crushing work. So that's my real motivation, is I don't want to go back to that. Listen, I get days where I'm like, I don't want to write, whatever. And then some days I'll just, I'm going to go take a nap. I'm old. I'm going to go take a nap. I'm going to go read a little bit. I'm going to watch this show that I've taped. I'm going to watch something on Netflix. But I don't ever take an entire day. I don't take more than I'm going to eat my lunch and I'm going to watch some show that I've taped on the DVR. But I know I got to get back in here because it starts to bother me. Okay, you know what? Do you want to do this, or do you want to lie around? Do you want to lie on the couch and read with the cats? and watch television all day. No, you can't do that. You can't do it. Financially, you can't do that. My wife has a phenomenal career. She makes very good money. She's been in that job almost 20 years. She, for the most part, loves her job. She loves the work she's doing. Can we live off of just her money? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Is it tight? Yeah, it gets very tight. We want to live at a certain level. That certain level, I need to bring us past that certain level with the writing, with all this other, with YouTube, with Patreon, with all of it, with royalties from publishers, all these different nickels and dimes coming in covers that amount of money every month. That's the idea. That's the goal. Now I could probably make way more money if I went out and I just, especially in 2026. I don't. God only knows what they're paying retail managers. I'm sure it's not worth it still, but I'm sure it's a lot better than the money I was making, 15 years ago. I don't want to. I don't think physically I could do it anymore. I don't think. I could do it at 56 years old. I don't think I could do it anyway. But that is the motivation for me to sit my butt down in this chair and create stories and to write down all the lies in my head that these characters tell each other and all of this. And I think that's some great motivation for me. That's really simple. That's the motivation. Now the motivation is also that I want to write stuff to be proud of. I want stuff that my wife and my kids and my family can be proud of. I want I want to be able to say I did that. There's a legacy here. When most people pass away, their legacy is going to be family and friends, loved ones, memories, blah blah blah. Hopefully, I'll have that, but I'll also have the legacy of 200 and something releases that I've put out. One, two, three, four bookshelves almost full of anthologies I've been in, novels I've released, novels I've co-written with other authors, novellas, on and on and on. So that's the legacy right there. That's the legacy. I don't want my obituary to say, "Hey, he worked 8 million hours, 800,000 years in retail, and then he died because of retail." I don't want that to be my obituary. I don't look forward to that. Then what are we doing here? Then what are we living for? So that's my motivation as well. Just the legacy of this, to be proud of what I'm doing. Okay. Listen, I'm not, curing cancer. I'm not, building rockets. I'm not, testing A-bombs here. All I'm doing is just writing some pulp fiction stories that hopefully people will read and enjoy and close the end of the book. They go, "That was a pretty good story. What else this guy got?" And here I'm going to give you a couple bucks for your time doing it. So that's the motivation here. That's what I am doing. I am looking forward to doing this for the rest of my life, however long that will be. Okay, if it's another 80 years, I don't think I want to do this another 80 years. But you know what I'm saying? If I can get another, like, say, 25, 30, 40 years out of this thing, I will be super happy. So I'm closer to the end than to the beginning. So there's also that motivation push of the stories I really want to tell. Now's the time. Now's the time to do it. If the motivation of, hey, I don't want to do, once the books in the queue are done with the self-publishing is done for me, then I'm going to get an agent. Then I'm going to work with just publishers and on and on and on. That's the goal. That's the plan. Again, that's another video. Watch that video as well. So that's kind of where we stand. That's it's simple, common sense. I would rather be doing this than be doing anything else. I take Saturdays off. Usually it's the only day me and my wife have the entire day off together. So Saturdays, a lot of times I get up early. I get up earlier than her. And especially when my brain won't turn off, especially when I'm stressing, when I'm depression is kicking my butt. I'll get up and I'll write, like, say, I'll write like 400 or 500 words just to get some words and just to feel like I did something. But there's no pressure to do it. Okay. Every other day of the week, I'm writing. Every other day, I'm either doing YouTube Live or I'm, um, on a Sunday, I'm just like, I got the day to myself and I'm going to watch some baseball, some football, whatever's on. But I know in the morning, I got to get my 1096 words. I got to get those words down or more and maybe, figure out, am I catching up? What did I miss? On and on and on. So that motivation, I work more hours now than I did 80 hours a week in retail, but I like these hours. It doesn't seem like work. The old adage, you work for a day and then somebody gives you bread. Yeah, that one. Think about that one for a minute. I don't even remember what that thing is. Something about fish or something. I don't know. I think if you give a man a fillet of fish, he eats the fillet of fish. If you make the man a fillet of fish, that means you work in the kitchen at McDonald's. I believe that's the analogy we're looking for. I don't know. I'm in the weeds, and guess what? I'm not cutting any of this part. If you have any questions, if you have any of your own things that motivate you to sit down in the chair and write, let me know. If you don't agree with me, I don't care. I mean, let me know what you don't agree with. Let me know what your concerns are, questions, comments, concerns. Let me know. I want to thank everybody for hitting the subscribe button when you watch these. Every Wednesday and every Sunday, I do a writing video like this, okay, talking about Armand's opinion about writing and all that. I might do extra ones. I might do like a Wednesday, Friday, Sunday coming up so I can get, I'm going to be honest with you, so I can, my motivation right now is also to get monetized here on YouTube. So I might do some extra videos in the next month or so just to get, so this might be a Friday video. This might be a Wednesday, might be a Sunday. Who can say? What I can say is that this is what we're doing. This is how I do it. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching all my other videos as well. I have many different playlists of videos for you to watch. So I would appreciate it. Thank you.